Some years ago, I was visiting my niece and her husband in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And during the visit, they kept talking about how much they loved their parish that they belonged to. They were just thrilled with the parish. They said that it's the best parish that they've ever been to in their lives. And so when Sunday came, I was really interested in going to Mass with them. When we got there, there were so many people there at the Mass that the church was too small to hold the crowds. So the Mass was held in this very large gym. Obviously, the parish priest was very, very popular. And when we got into the church, into the gym was very dimly lit, and there was this rock band up in the sanctuary playing all of this rock music, and people were milling about and speaking with one another. It was very casual. Most people were dressed in blue jeans and t-shirts, and even when the Mass began, the opening hymn was the Beatles' Let It Be, and the priest came in t-shirts and blue jeans. When it was time to preach, the homily was very controversial, and it touched upon issues that are not particularly supported in the teachings of the church. The priest talked about the need for married clergy. He talked about the need for women priests, and he talked about alternative lifestyles and how that should be supported. And every time he spoke about that, the people in the gym applauded. When it came time for communion, the priest invited everyone to communion. He said, whether you're Catholic or not. And so what happened is that the Mass was wide open, and after Mass they served herbal tea and bagels, whole wheat bagels. I found the Mass to be very unusual. And it got me to thinking in the weeks that followed. What happened there is that some of the teachings of the church and of our faith were not being followed. And what the priest was doing is that he was appealing to popular opinion. And he thought that what is popular makes people happy, and it makes life carefree, and it should be celebrated, even if it is not certainly identified as Catholic. And what that leads to is a seeking of a kingdom, I think, that is very fractured. Today's readings are filled with challenges to faith. But not only that, they're filled with parameters of faith, especially in regard to love, definitions of faith in regard to the authority of God, and faith as being clearly guided by the authority of Jesus Christ. But when we no longer want the authority, we can dismiss the Catholic traditions, and we can dismiss Catholic leadership. We can dismiss the whole of sacred Scripture. And we no longer believe in the only begotten Son of God. What we're doing is believing only in ourselves. What we end up doing is believing that the authority, the sole authority in the world is me. Well, it isn't. It isn't. The authority is God's love in the world.